How do I tell my 20 male boyfriend I'm 19 female ready? My boyfriend 20M and I 19F have been together for 2 months. To start plain and simple, I've never had sex before. I've had some severe body issues and haven't been able to let anyone see me like that before.
He however has obviously.
Fairly early on, like a few weeks in, he asked me if I had yet. I didn't explain to him why I hadn't though, cause it's fairly irrelevant now, so it won't play any part in this. We had our first sleepover last night and we were playing around and he ended up pinning me to my bed and kissing me, and at that point I realized I really wanted to, but I don't know if he's at that point in this relationship, so I let him lead and he kinda only kissed me for a few seconds and jumped off, but it's been driving me crazy all day.
I just don't know how to bring it up to him that was hot and I was more than ready to take it to the next step. I don't know if he was just trying to not make me uncomfortable or if he just doesn't want to yet.
How have some other people brought things like this up without it being too awkward or coming across as pushy? Next time, if he jumps off, you jump on him, start taking off his shirt. He will get the message.
You don't need to literally look at him and tell him you want to bang. Just make it obvious.
With your mouth.
Hashtag use your words.
Just tell him that you're ready to take things to the next step. If you can't be open and honest, then there's no need to be with him. When I was your age, a girl sent me a message saying, when we were in bed the other night, I would have let you do anything you wanted to me. And that was pretty hot.
I didn't hold back the next occasion we were together. Just get laid, queen. Just fucking tell him. Hard for me to believe he'd have any problem with it.
Why did my 26 female boyfriend, 27 male, say I'm only average attractive? My boyfriend and I just spent a wonderful weekend camping. And as we were just waking up on our last day, he, unprompted, said, to be honest, and don't take this the wrong way, but you're not Sydney Sweeney attractive, you're pretty but like, average girl pretty. And I know I'm supposed to focus on the, you're pretty, part, but why would anyone feel it's necessary to tell their partner out of the blue that they're kinda average? I already knew that, but it hurts to hear it from my partner, and since he said, don't take this the wrong way, I feel like I am the unreasonable one for being upset. I don't really have a lot of people to talk to, so I figured I'd complain a little here. Tell him that he's not Henry Cavill handsome. Handsome but like, average handsome.
This is called negging and only really shitty people do it.
Your boyfriend is shitty, is what I'm saying. Ask him why we felt the need to randomly tell you that.
Ask him why he said it. Ask him what you were meant to do with that information.
Then dump him. The only reason I can see for saying something like that would be an attempt to lower your self-esteem or take you down a notch.
Red flag. I need to stop reading relationship posts. 99% of them are women putting up with assholes and I can't figure out why. Negging.
Classic manosphere move.
You won't consider your worth, ergo will stay with him even when he is shitty.
There was a story about a guy who convinced his girl she stank. Like horrible BO when she had enough. He admitted it was a trick to keep her self-worth very low. How can I 25F stop crying when my coworkers 40F talk about their kids? How can I 25F stop crying when my coworkers 40-50s M and F talk about their kids?
I started this job about 1 year ago. I work in an office and 6 of my manager's colleagues are much older than me, 25F. They are in their 40s and 50s and are parents with children that are close to my age. For context, I am new to working in an office job, so this is my first time interacting with people so much older than me on a regular basis. I started this job about 1 year ago. I need advice on how to hold conversations regarding their kids.
Every so often my colleagues will talk about their kids either to me or to someone an earshot away.
For the most part, one smile and try to keep the conversation focused on them, but I often have trouble doing this. My family situation is strange. I am estranged from both of my parents, and I do not have any aunts, uncles, cousins, or grandparents. I am fortunate and I do have siblings, but we're all close in age, one brother and one sister in their 20s. My parents are alive, but my siblings and I had to cut contact 4 years ago due to their extreme abuse. It was our only option to stay safe. I wish we could simply talk with them or find a low-contact solution, but going no contact and hiding our information such as our home address, phone numbers, and email is the only way to stay safe and alive. Our parents are simply abusers and have always been abusive. This is not a case of us leaving a religion, being gay, or having a different lifestyle. Not that these reasons should warrant abuse, I just want to specify they never changed or suddenly became unsafe. As for my relatives, they are also all alive.
The issue is my parents never let us speak with them growing up, and now they really just don't care about me or my siblings. They will never check in on us, never offer us a place to stay if we're homeless, never offer us more than one meal.
They also never really consider us as family, so we won't be invited to anything or updated on anyone, e.g. a death, a marriage, a birth, etc. They don't even really know our names. We're basically strangers. So it really is just me and my siblings.
We never had someone older who would take care of us or guide us through life.
I have managed well my whole life and never really cared about my situation.
When friends spoke of their parents or grandparents, I would always see that as their life, and never felt upset or wondered why I don't have parents or grandparents like that.
I was always happy for my friends and any other person my age with parents or guardians. However, for some reason I can't say the same about work. Hearing my colleagues talk about their kids gets me so emotional. I guess I never knew how much parents loved their kids, and listening to the parents' perspective of a parent-child dynamic throws my mind into a loop. They talk about celebrating their graduation, birthdays, what grad schools their kid got accepted to.
They talk about things I never thought of, such as buying their kids new socks or a jacket, or being concerned that their kid never called to say where they were last night.
Every time I hear them it breaks my heart. Partially because I need new socks too, but also because I have no one looking out for me. It feels unfair. I am a nice kid too, but I was dealt a bad family situation. Even hearing them on the phone and referring to their children as honey makes my eyes tear up. I end up feeling selfish and wondering why I can't have a parent like that.
The craziest part is the fact that even the mean coworkers are kind parents. Their child is my age, and I wonder if they know their parent is the rude office worker and gives others hell. Not that I am entitled to be treated kindly by any coworkers. Each time my coworkers talk about their kids, I end up crying in the bathroom.
I'm not an emotional person either, but I end up crying on and off for the rest of the workday.
It makes me unproductive, and I'm so worried someone might catch me crying.
I am terrified that I will eventually get caught and then be forced to have an extremely awkward conversation with my manager. I need advice on how to hold these normal conversations with my colleagues and not turn into a crying mess. For now, I try to not involve myself in these conversations, but just hearing them talk makes me cry still. If context helps, I work in the office of a top hospital, so it's not a corporate environment. But, are you seeing a therapist? Your reaction is normal given what you endured. You are grieving what you now know was in the realm of possible.
I'm very sorry you're going through this. You go to therapy if innocuous conversations lead you to tears. This sounds like work for a therapist if you aren't already seeing one. Red heart. So sorry to hear your story and that you're having a hard time. A therapist could definitely help you with tools for managing your feelings throughout family-related conversations. It must be exhausting to go through that emotional roller coaster all the time, as people don't realize what they're saying upsets you.
Hope you find the help you deserve soon. Mending heart. I think it is wonderful that your kids have such loving parents. I wasn't so lucky, and I find it difficult to talk about families.
Then smile and move away, or cry without shame, if that's what happens.
You are raw dogging chronic post-traumatic stress disorder, and you should get help for that. You have done and are doing nothing wrong. You need help.
You don't have to be this triggered without any strategies for working the situation out.
I've seen from your other comments that you cannot afford therapy.
Some employers offer an Employee Assistance Program, EAP, which gives you access to confidential therapists who can help you with issues like yours. You should check with your employer to see if they offer something like that. If you're dealing with trauma from the abuse from your parents, it won't get better without therapy. Also, if you have insurance through your employer, it may cover the cost of therapy. Additionally, some nonprofits offer therapy for patients who can't afford it. Be sure to look into all your options. Good luck, Op. My 21F boyfriend 20M doesn't understand that I come from a poor family. How do I navigate it? Me 21F and my boyfriend 20M are together for 2.5 years. He comes from a wealthy family, and every single year they go on 4 vacations. I, on the other hand, come from a poor family. I have a single mom and I'm currently in college, so we are tight on money. I tried to explain this to my boyfriend, but he still wants to have a vacation with me this summer.
And I want to have it too. The problem is money. He has a part-time job under his father and has paycheck bigger than my mom in her full-time job. He wants to go to abroad, that it will only be 12K, in our currency. I tried talking to him that I can only do 6K, nothing more, that I don't have the money. I was also raised like this: if you don't have the money, don't go. Don't let someone else pay for you. You don't need fancy vacations, and so on. I was abroad 4 times and it was really cheap.
The amount of money they are willing to put to one vacations, we put to all 4 altogether. Me and my mom are used to sleeping in tent, he is used to sleeping in 4-star hotels, etc.
He offered to pay the accommodation for me, but I cannot let him.
He offered that I can pay him back eventually, but I know that I won't be able. What do I do now?
I could ask my mom, but I don't want her to pay for my things.
I want to go to some kind of vacation with my boyfriend.
I already declined 4 different vacations he proposed and he's getting kinda grumpy about it, and I get him.
So how should I navigate it?
Too long did not read.
My boyfriend is proposing expensive vacations and I don't know how to navigate that. I'm coming from a different background. He intended for it to be a gift. He suggested that I could pay him back, my choice, after I insisted that I couldn't take this a gift from him.
He wouldn't care if I wouldn't pay him back.
It's just something unthinkable for me. Why not let him pay? When I started dating my wife, she also was extremely poor and I came from a better off, financially, family.
I took her on vacations and paid for her.
I moved her into my apartment after college and told her she didn't have to pay rent until she felt that she could.
8 years later, 4 married, and we both are high-income earners now. My logic was always, I'm doing this thing, I want to do it with you, it's no big deal for me to pay, let's do it. He's not going to ever understand.
But I don't understand your ego stopping you from allowing him to gift you the opportunity to go on a vacation?
Release the ego. If he wants to gift you that experience, accept the gift.
As long as he knows that you are uncomfortable about this and you feel weird and like you're taking advantage. And then if he persists, accept the gift and go enjoy yourself and experience new things. Why can't you accept a gift? It's a good skill to learn to accept a gift and be thankful, but not beholden to someone.
He knows you have limited funds and wants to pay your way so you can go on vacation with him.
I say you agree on condition that he tell you he understands that you couldn't pay and he is agreeing to pay. That he doesn't resent you for not paying, and that him paying cannot come up in a future argument. You are looking at this all wrong, in my humble opinion. Your boyfriend has money.
He doesn't care about the cost. He wants to spend time in a nicer place, with his girlfriend.
Explain that you cannot afford it.
If he offers to pay for you, accept.
Because he would rather have you there than have the money.
I think he understands the money situation but doesn't understand why he can't pay for it as a gift.
If you don't like receiving expensive gifts, that's fine. But growing up without money doesn't mean you have to refuse gifts.